Greetings from Vegas again. I got a request to do a video, and or not necessarily a video, but it was a consulting request, but I thought it'd make a good video. In other words, the best format would be to address this via video. So it's the issue of fear, dealing with fear, and the question was not necessarily amorphous, but by its nature it almost has to be, because how do you deal with, oh good lord, why did that get so much? Has to do, fear itself is amorphous. It's not like, well, how do I deal with this one thing? So sat down, thought about one of the clients wanted to deal with fear, like had fear of different things. Won't mention the name, but fear about work, fear about social engagement, fear about dating, fear about the future, fear about economics, all other stuff. So I put together, and I will admit this is my personal take on fear, and it's somewhat, you'll sound really brave and bravado, but then it'll be actually not. You'll see, I will claim to be fearless, but you'll see the reason why, and you'll be like, oh, that's why he's fearless, not in a really great way. There are three general fears I could come up with, generally speaking. I am going to consult my notes. One, there's a physical fear, like a physical threat, like you have a mountain lion attacking you, or there's a thug with a gun in a bad neighborhood, something that threatens your physical life. Then there's emotional or social fear, where you're fearing rejection or ostracization, if that's a word, being ostracized by society or being rejected by a loved one, be it family, or it could be friends, or it could be a loved one. So there's that. And then there's financial fear, where you don't have faith in the future. You're not secure. You're not happy about the future prospects, and you worry that you're going to be impoverished. Your financial security. You're going to be poor. You're not going to have food. You're not going to have clothing. You're not going to have shelter. And all these, all of them have a biological, Darwinistic programming and basis to them. They're there to keep you alive. Now, dealing with the three different types of fear, here's how I deal with them, or how you should deal with them. With physical fear, there's no dealing with it. That's a good thing to have. Like when I go hiking, the biggest thing I worry about is mountain lions. Because usually I go hiking by myself, because none of my friends can keep up with me, they don't have the time. And they're not physically fit enough to do it, might I add. Just trying to shame them into joining me one of these days. But that's my biggest fear, is a mountain lion, because they sneak up on you and they always attack from behind. So I always go in with a gun, a knife, and I'm even thinking about, because they come from behind, they get you in, that's how they like to do it. They got these hats where there's a face on the back. They do that in India to kind of fool the mountain lions into thinking, oh, it's got its eyes on me, because mountain lions will typically not attack you from the front. But regardless, whatever physical fear, it could be a bully, it could be a genuine physical threat. Yes, take that seriously. You don't want to mute or numb your mind or your body to that. You want to be acutely aware when you are in physical danger. So there's no cowardice in that. A lot of people, especially guys, they'll be bullied or approached by a bigger guy at the bar, and you're really not in a physical threat then. This is egos. Freaking douche boy, frat boys with their hats on backwards, bumping chests, that kind of thing. The reason why is because no one's really going to throw a punch. And if they do, it ends very quickly, because it's usually in a party setting, or if you're being bullied. Let me qualify this though. If you're younger and you're in school, like high school, middle school, whatever, playgrounds, bullies bothering you, you beat the fucking shit out of them. Even if you get the shit kicked out of you. Because that's who they prey on, is weaker people. You just, serious, I know, and then all the kids are gonna you got in trouble. Yeah, you could fucking die. There's the legal disclaimer. I don't care. I really don't, because I don't have any fear. I don't, and you'll see why in a second. But yeah, dealing with bullies as a kid, yeah, don't let them torture you. It's worse. The physical pain you're going to endure losing a physical fight, is not going to be as bad as the emotional or psychological stress you're going to be having terrorized over the course of years. So that's that. But once you're an adult, then you got the legal system. And it's not that people don't want to fight each other, it's that you're going to get sued. So fights really rarely ever end up well. And then again, when you're bigger, then real damage, two little 10-year-olds going at it's one thing, two 18-year-olds going at it could be another thing. So there is a physical threat there. But there's also the legal threat. And a lot of guys are like, well, yeah, you know what? it's going to be at least a yearly and annual occurrence. Some drunk douche is going to want to start something. Like one time this guy just went like that right in my back. This is no more than like 2-3 years ago. And your initial reaction is to turn around and clobber the guy. But you know what? And here's what you got to think through. What kind of an individual, what kind of life is that individual leading? That as a full-grown adult, he thinks it's just cool to hit somebody in the back, or that kind of stuff. You guys realize that if you engage in any kind of fighting as an adult, and this is my book, Bachelor Pad Economics, you run the risk of ruining way more than you realize. Forget the fighting. If you get a criminal record, or you get a charge, or you go to jail, that ruins your career. Military, sometimes you can't join the military. It can wreak unimaginable financial and career damage. So what you got to do, I know this it seems cowardly, it's not. It's very intelligent. It's the right thing to do. Not, it's the right thing to do. Where your mother, who's never thrown a left hook in her life, tells you that because it's just, well, what fucking Oprah said on the fucking television. Just let him go. Just, back away. Don't even just let him be. And you want to know why? Because that lets that fuck up keep fucking up. He's going to run into the wrong guy, or he's going to run in the right and beat somebody up, but then they're going to get arrested or whatever else like that. You don't want to be the guy going to jail. Even if you're bigger, you got like a little guy coming up, you can easily take him. Don't, dude, just let him go. Just let him go. It's not worth it. So that's how you would deal with physical threats. It's obviously the mountain lion is one thing, you want to keep that, but with the physical threat that other humans will present to you, especially men, just avoid it. It's not cowardice, it's smart. It's not the right thing to do. It is the right thing, but it's the smart thing to do. So there's that. Emotional and social fear. Here's the thing where most guys who read the Manosphere are like introduced and they've been raised by single mothers. You've got to quit being fucking pussies. I can understand the fear of approaching a girl. Nobody likes rejection. I understand that. Go fucking do it anyway. You got to build a callus. You can't live life worrying about rejection. Girls are going to reject you. Depends on your game and your skill, anywhere between 90 to even 60% on the good side are going to reject you. I wouldn't even say 60. I mean, you're going to get 70% of the girls are going to reject you. It's just a fact of life. You can't take it personally because I'm not even going to go into that route. You're just going to get rejected in life. So get fucking used to it. Oh God, my face makes a no. Yeah, well, fucking get in there. You got to build up a callus. You got to build up resistance. And you also got to build up a mentality to realize this is just part of life. You can't avoid rejection. You will be rejected in life by employers, by girls or guys in the case of ladies, by friends. You'll be rejected by every aspect of society. So you better get right fucking quick used to it. Instead of, it was me, right? Also, with the social and emotional fear, what a lot of people have and they're worried about with rejection, especially when it comes to dating, especially with guys and girls, is that they have no core to themselves. They don't have anything unique about them. And they use the person they're dating as a way to define them, right? You're like a vampire. You really have nothing to you. You live off of other people. You cannot be these dopey people, especially guys. I can't find a girlfriend. Yeah, no shit, you can't find a girlfriend, because what girl wants to go out with a guy who's a non-entity and just sits there and self-pities himself? I don't care what the fuck it is you do. I don't care if you're really good at Dungeons and Dragons or martial arts or computer programming or football or something. Go do something. Go become unique at it. Define yourself. Live your life. And then second to that is the girls or the guys that you want to date. Because then when you get rejected, you can, really, I'm honest, confident, I'm not BSing. Like myself, if I get rejected, although it's been a while, but not out of girls saying yes just because I'm not looking. But when I got rejected, it didn't faze me. Not only because I'm accustomed to rejection, but because I knew deep down inside, I am the shit. Ballroom dancing, good-looking guy. The only thing you could say is I'm a little short. And that's not arrogance or cut. That's what it is. It's a personal assessment. I have all this stuff going on. So if a girl shot me down, it's like, Okay, you have fun, because I know that of all the hobbies and interests I have, I make for an interesting character. So you have to like yourself, and not only that, but know that you're a quality individual. If you're moping around, playing your video games, and I'm all for video games, don't get me wrong, and they reject you, yes, that is a genuine criticism of you. But if you got like no debt, you got your shit together, you're interesting, you're funny, you're just a good guy, and an interesting guy on top of it, and or for the ladies too, someone turns you down, what, you're like, okay, would you like money? No, you don't like money. Oh, okay. Would you like ice cream? You don't like ice cream. Okay, fine. That kind of thing. So that's how you gotta deal with emotional and social fear. You're just get used to it, and not get used to it, get numb to it. Get numb to rejection. Get numb to the boss and stuff like that. Financial fear relating to that. Financial fear is legitimate because if you don't have resources in the future, you might starve. And that is true. However, given today's technology, the majority of your financial fear comes from the basic banal, is that the word I'm looking for? Your deep, dark, genetic ancestors' desire to have food and not die. If you look at society today, our problem is not a lack of food, it's too damn much. In other words, Bill Gates has more money than most of us. The dude is still going to die at 79, 80. Heck, Steve Jobs died at, an atrociously early age, and he had billions. He had more resources, because he had, some kind of cancer. I forgot how he died, young. But understand, you don't need billions of dollars to survive. Matter of fact, you only need $10,000, especially for an individual who doesn't have kids, to put food, clothing, and shelter together. You're going to be poor. But you're not going to be starving, shivering in the cold, or sweltering in the heat. So this is more of a issue of budgeting, and then on top of it, not letting debt ruin you and enslave you to a boss. And this is where debt is very important. If you have debt, a mortgage, car loans, credit cards, you do have financial problems. You do have a genuine financial fear to worry about. And not only that, it enslaves you to an employment world where most employers and bosses are genuinely fucking psychotic. And I'm not joking. I do believe that these are sociopathic, and they're unaware of it. They're just manipulative, they're evil, they're hypocritical. I don't say that because I don't get along with bosses. I look at them, I'm like, okay, out of all the bosses I've had, only like 3 have stood out to be legitimate and honest. The rest, you can't even call it evil because it would almost imply a consciousness on them. They're too stupid to realize how they've survived and gotten ahead has been Machiavellian and very sociopathic. They don't care about other people, and they don't care about reality. They're just, what do I have to do to get ahead? That's the employment world you're going into. If you can get by if you realize you're not going to starve, technology is here, even though we have the greatest recession in the world, we're still going to have food, you're not going to starve. That boss of yours, and you go, oh my God, I might lose my job. So what, you lose your job. And what I've found, just like women, instead of like, okay, what do you want? What do you want? You say, yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Don't say fuck you to your boss. But if your boss comes in and you hold down the line, you say, you know what, Mike? No, that's total bullshit. You know it. And, I really, same thing with girls. I don't need you. Yeah, you know what? You want to fire me? Go ahead. But I don't need you. And I'm not going to come into work every day tiptoeing, worrying about office politics and bullshit. I want to come here, do my job, get my fucking shit done, make money for the company. And if that's too complicated, if I got to go to the fucking Kiwanis meeting, I got to go to the fucking parade, I have to do community work, I have to sit fucking diversity training, I have to sit through fucking sexual... Nah, you know what? This is not a place for me. Right? I didn't sign up for that. That was not in the job description. Right? This would prevent you from being taken advantage of by higher-ups. And in an ironic sense, again, just like women, it will result in more success. I've had more success going in interviews fearless. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't need you. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to grovel. Here's how, I'm cursing a lot now. Don't curse in an interview. I'm just saying. You go in there, not with confidence, but an indifference and a self-respect. And that will get rid of your financial fear. So those two things combined will, getting rid of financial fear is making sure you budget wisely and you don't spend more than you make. And you realize that you're not going to be on the streets starving unless you really are an idiot. The second thing is to prevent bosses from abusing you and to put you in a higher bargaining position. Don't worry about losing your job and insist on having self-respect for yourself when you go into work. If a boss treats you like shit, you say, you know what, fuck it, I'm out of here. So I said, now, the general overall philosophy on fear is a brilliant quote from Band of Brothers, and it's like, Blythe, you're already dead. So look it up on YouTube. Look up Blythe, You're Already Dead. It has Ronald Spears telling him it. And basically what it is Blythe is this private, I think, and he's freaking out. It's in World War II. He's freaking out. And he can't fight because he always goes into shock. And then Spears, who's a lieutenant, I think, by that time, grabs Blythe and says, Blythe, there is no hope because you're already dead. You just don't realize it yet. It's dark, but it's brilliant because you're all going to die. You're all already dead. It's just a matter of when. Now, do you want to live your life worrying about, or it's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. We're going to die when we die. You have a choice to live in fear or not. And one thing is mortality. People worry about mortality. People worry about that. The worrying is worse than the actual mortality because you would just have wasted your life. The other thing along the lines is you're already dead. You also have to realize you have nothing to lose. If you have family, that's something. Then you might have to have legitimate fear. But the reason I'm, quote, fearless, I got nothing to lose. I don't really care. I really don't have much to lose. I really don't. Financially, I have friends. Those are the most precious things to me. And I would fear if someone threatened them. I'd take that very seriously. But bosses, a career, oh, you're going to take away my career. I mean, think about it. This is especially speaking to Gen Y and the millennials. My generation, the Gen Xers and the baby boomers saying, you're not getting to work, you're not professional, your generation lacks a work ethic. And it kind of does, because there's a ton of douchebags in the millennial generation. But this threat that they give you, like, you must hit the ground running, we need a master's, all this is like bullshit. They're making it sound like you're missing out on something, and oh my God, you're not getting your career, you're not contributing to your IRA, your 401k, oh my God, fear. Yeah, fuck them. They don't care about you. You're another perfect example along the same lines is women always fear that they're missing out on a career, and feminism has sold them wonderfully on this, that you need to work hard, and my God, if you stay at home and take care of your kids and raise them, oh, you're a failure, you're missing out on a career. Work sucks. Work fucking sucks. It's the greatest con job ever. But again, it's the fear. What am I missing out on? What am I missing out on? You're getting scammed. That's what it is. So have nothing left to lose. And then, live for your own life. If you get a lot of money, you got to invest it. Yeah, you should fear losing that money. But if you're already poor, and trust me, there's no opportunities out there. I mean, there's some if you're like a high-end engineer or a doctor. But you don't really have anything to lose. There's nothing you're missing out on. And so if you realize you have nothing to lose, you realize you're not missing out on anything, and you realize that the best thing to do with your time is spend it on yourself and your family and your friends and loved ones, you're technically fearless, aside from the cougar like that. And I'm not talking the hot milfy babe. I'm talking the one with teeth, with the pointy fangy things, and they will eat you. That's kind of my approach to fear. Hopefully it assuages some people, gives you a little bit of a roadmap how to handle fear. But yeah, if you have nothing left to lose, you've got, there's nothing to fear because nothing can really hurt you or stop you. So that's all we got. Toodles.